Hi, Collective. I'm Ancient, and I have a message for someone. I have the Five of Cups, the Three of Swords, and the Tower. Someone is coming to terms that a relationship isn't working, or someone's coming to terms that they are unhappy. Someone just created a tower. It feels like someone was just in a relationship that wasn't going anywhere, or this person was dancing around the reality or the truth. The Three of Swords, I feel like this person knew that eventually they would have to be honest and tell someone how they truly feel about them or how they feel about the situation. And I feel like they just didn't want to hurt the person's feelings, but they've been unhappy for quite some time. This person's been in a miserable relationship, and I feel like they've ignored the simple truth. They've ignored the facts. I don't feel like this person stayed with the person thinking that things would get better. I think they always knew that, but they just didn't want to hurt the person's feelings, but ultimately it created a tower because it feels like the person dragged the situation on for too long. Clarifying the Five of Cups, we have the Three of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles. With the Three of Pentacles here and the Eight of Cups, most definitely, the person that they told this to, this person feels like they've already been feeling alone in the relationship. Like this has been a very lonely relationship, isolated, no emotions, no love. I don't even feel like they would tell this person I love you. They could have even said, you know what, I'm not going to say that word to you anymore, or they never even said it to them. But someone stayed. I feel like both people. I feel like the person in the Eight of Cups, they could have been in love with the person that finally came out and said, look, this isn't working. And they let themselves be in a connection that was emotionally unfulfilling. So this person has been feeling this entire time alone in the relationship or connection. We have the Two of Pentacles, and I feel like the person that's in the Eight of Cups was thinking, well, maybe, we can go to therapy, or maybe, just give it some time. And it never changed because the person that's in the Eight of Cups was in denial. I don't feel like this person that finally came out and said that this is over, I don't feel like they were in denial. They knew it. They just didn't want to hurt the person's feelings because I feel like this is unrequited, and I feel like this other person is in love with the person that's not in love with them, if that makes sense. Let's go ahead and clarify the Three of Swords. And I'm also getting where this person, not the person that said it's over or I just can't do this anymore. It's something about, it's like this person is insecure. They rather be in a situation where there's no love than to be alone. I don't know if that makes sense. And so, this person wasn't accepting the reality. And I feel like the person that came out and said, I'm unhappy, this isn't going to work, it's never going to work, it isn't working, they thought by showing, showing this person the true nature of how they feel. I feel like they even thought by, giving hints and just really being honest through actions that the person would catch on. But again, the other person, and I hope you guys are following me, the person that's in the Eight of Cups, it wasn't that they were not picking up on the vibe, they just refused to accept it. And what they accepted was, okay, I'm gonna be alone, I'm gonna feel this connection is emotionally unfulfilling, but I'm not going anywhere because this person rather be in a relationship with no love than to be alone. So that lets me know that there's a lot of insecurities there with that person. Tell me about the Three of Swords. Tell me about the Three of Swords. The Nine of Swords and the Six of Wands. Somebody knew that this was gonna happen. Okay. I feel like the person that's in the Eight of Cups, they knew that this eventually would happen. But I'm also getting where with the Six of Wands, it feels like the person doesn't want to see them move on and be happy with the Six of Wands. But again, also acknowledging the facts that it's done, it's over. Okay, tell me about the Six of Wands. The Knight of Pentacles. This person could have said this is over, and now they want to, or their intention is to move towards someone else or another situation. This person is nervous. They're nervous. Tell me about the Tower. But I feel like this person just couldn't, they had to tell them this. See, this is one of those relationships where both people are miserable, okay? Where one of the partners is like miserable, completely not attracted, done, over, but they're just with the person for comfortability. Um they don't want to hurt the person's feelings, and then the other person is in it because they don't want to be lonely, they're insecure. There could be children involved, there could be finances involved, whatever, and they just, or they don't want to seem like a failure, they're worried about the opinions and thoughts of other people. There's just a lot of inflated, irrelevant reasons to stay together. That's what this couple is. Okay. But now that it's done, this Knight of Pentacles person slowly went, like, came to terms about how to move forward. They knew that it didn't matter when or how. um they knew that the person was, someone's going to get their heart broken, and their heart isn't really necessarily broken. It's more about, what I feel is that this person has always felt this way, and they ignored their intuition or their gut, or they got into a relationship with someone because it was comfortable, it was convenient. Okay, and I know that sounds bad, but it's like, all right, let me just date this person, or maybe this was new to them. They were just kind of going with the flow, but it wasn't true love. Tell me more about this Tower. The Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Yeah. So this person is going through it. I feel like this Queen of Cups is that Eight of Cups person because she or he feels like, I have invested, my time, my energy, and now you don't want me, you don't want this. But it's always been like that. This person just didn't want to accept what their gut was telling them, because their intuition was telling them also from the beginning that this person wasn't vibing with them. They just refused to accept the red flags. Does it make sense? It's like trying to force a circle into a square when the person was giving them all the red flags. And this person was taking the little things that they were doing. Maybe the person was sleeping with them, or, being nice to them, kind of, but wasn't really fulfilling them emotionally. But the person didn't care. They were like, no, they like me, they like me. And but it just didn't feel right. So this person now is in the Tower with the Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, feeling like, wow, you're just done. You're not gonna try. But that's it. That's all in their head. This person's been like that. Five of Coins, Queen of Cups. Yeah. So we got the King of Wands and we have the Chariot. This person is moving on, and they want this Queen of Cups or whomever to move on as well. Tell me about the Chariot. That person's let them go. They want them to move on emotionally. Tell me about the Chariot. The World. Yeah, and it could have been where this person said, this is a lesson learned. Let's just learn from this and move on. And it's really hurting this Queen of Cups on how serious and how direct this King of Wands is being about the situation, and how um like it just feels like this person has already made their mind up a long time ago. With the Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, we have the Five of Swords, conflict, and then we have the Eight of Pentacles. This person, what breaks her heart or his heart is that she's realizing that all the fighting and arguing and she feels like she was trying to fight for it. Five of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles, she feels defeated, and she thought that she could fight for this person. She thought, but the more energy she gives to this, the more she realizes that this person does not love her. And she feels like a failure, or he feels like a failure. It feels like defeat. It feels like betrayal. But it's the universe trying to teach her a lesson, or teach him a lesson, to pay attention to what people are showing you, and don't go into relationships projecting what you want your relationship to be. No, that's not manifesting, that's projection. It's not manifesting, especially if someone's already showing you through their action how they feel and what they want. And I feel like the universe allowed this to happen in hopes of her transforming and growing within herself or within himself, so that they can make better choices and decisions in the future as it relates to their relationships and partnerships. That they can be able to discern when someone's actually in love with them, and this is actually a viable relationship or potential connection, instead of the person projecting emotions and thoughts and basically saying, I'm just going to see the beauty in people, versus just taking what someone is actually showing them. So this person, this man or woman, is in conflict because I feel like they could have tried to fight for the connection. They thought by showing that they're never going to leave or whatever, that the person would want them more, but it actually did the complete opposite. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Six of Cups. Yeah, this person tried to control. I feel like this man or woman, the reason why the connection was so long, or they stayed in a relationship so long with this person, was because there was a lot of control. A lot of manipulation with the Magician and the Six of Cups. This person always trying to control someone's emotions, control how someone operate, control, and then also try to change themselves for a person. So what I mean by that, say if this man or this woman has a specific type, instead of the other person being confident and comfortable in their own skin, this person would change themselves physically, or change even their style, the way that they speak. I mean, they would go above and beyond to try to make themselves appealing to someone that's not attracted to them. Does that make sense? Just this person was constantly trying to change themselves and morph themselves into something that they're not, in hopes of getting that person's attention, and it just never ever worked. And so, and that's why the person feels the Five of Pentacles. They feel like they've put in all this energy and effort and got nothing out of it. And that's how you end up in the Five of Pentacles, being breadcrumb. You know, some people will say, oh, they're breadcrumbing you. But the reason why the person's breadcrumbing you is because you're allowing it. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands and we have the Ace of Swords. This person has been keeping, I feel like the person that finally came out and said, you know what, I'm unhappy, this isn't working. I feel like this person doesn't want to say that they're not attracted to them. We have the Lovers. Clarify the Lovers, please. I feel like they try to keep to themselves, that they're physically not attracted and they have no interest in the person, but it's true. Tell me about the Lovers. Tell me about the Lovers, please. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, so this person has decided that they want to be single. They want to be single, and they think it's best for both of them to be single and focus on themselves. Strength. Tell me about strength. The King of Swords. Something about the King of Swords. The Sun. Okay, one more card for the Sun. Okay, so with the sun here, we have the Hierophants. Okay, there could have been also, I don't know if this person is from a different like culture, because I'm also getting where someone's realizing that there's major cultural differences. And sometimes it can work for some people where you could be from a completely different culture, and it's not about race, right? It's about culture. Because you could be like, for example, in the United States, there's different ethnicities, different groups, or whatever. But American culture is different from, let's say, European culture or Asian culture, right? There's differences. So it's not even just about race. There could have been some sort of major, now for some it could be race, but there was some sort of major difference between these two individuals. And I feel that one of them was just like, it wasn't a vibe. It just wasn't a good vibe. Someone's just like, no, we're way too different in how we see life, the experiences with life. We're just not on the same page. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like some people get offended. All right, so we have the Star and the King of Wands. Yeah, so this King of Wands is coming for their woman, their man, and also appearing healed as well. Tell me about the King of Wands. This person could be coming for you, but I don't feel like you want them anymore. We have the Lovers, the Five of Pentacles, and this person feels like they wasted so much time. They're not happy with themselves. They feel like they wasted so much time with that other person or situation. Like they wasted time to ultimately now try to come towards you, which is, you could be their wish fulfillment. This person really wants you to give them another chance, but they do feel like they wasted a lot of time in a previous relationship that really they've been miserable in since day one. I mean, I hate to say that. I mean, maybe not day one, but within the first week or month, this person knew that this wasn't for them, but they just continue to mess with that person. Hate to say it, but it's the truth. We have the Knight of Pentacles here, the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, this person, and they also realize that even if they were to come back around you, they're gonna have to come back around you slow and controlled. That you're not gonna just open yourself up to this person. But this person they're gonna be calculative. I don't know, because we got the King of Swords here, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. They're gonna be very calculative. Okay. All right, I'm gonna leave it here. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you soon.